Alright guys, welcome to another video. Today we're looking at different water conditioners and how they're suited to our aquariums. So when I were at the OCA extravaganza, Mr. J. Wilson gave me some Fritz stuff, so I've actually been trying it and using it on this 10-gallon planter tank for a while now. It's a full spectrum water conditioner that instantly removes ammonia and detoxifies nitrite and nitrate. Just like any other standard water conditioner in the hobby would do, it's 1 cap per 50 gallons and it also gives you the warning of not to overdose, which I think is pretty key. But anyway, real quick, just use the water conditioner, tank's all filled up. How good is this looking? As far as the planter tank goes, I know a lot of my subscribers are African cichlid lovers and fair play to you, but every now and again you've just got to take note and love this planter tank, because for a low-tech setup I really do think it's awesome. All the fish are doing quality, plants are doing great, and overall I'm just really happy with the progression of this tank over the last few months. So these are actually the water conditioners that I use. Seachem Safe right now, I believe, is a great water conditioner, especially for people with bigger ponds and bigger aquariums, as it's unbelievably concentrated and it actually treats 60,000 gallons of water per 250 grams, which is just crazy. I believe I got this product off Amazon for $10, which isn't too expensive either. When treating my tank, which is the 55 gallon, I just use this 1/8 of a teaspoon and just eyeball it. Seems to work out pretty good. But these are the two Fritz products that could be beneficial depending on the size of your tanks. The first one is Fritz Complete, which is very, very similar to Seachem Prime. This bottle treats a total of 1,200 gallons, but because it's not as concentrated, it's only 1 cap per 50 gallons. It is more beneficial, in my personal opinion, for smaller tanks. So like 10, 20 gallons, where you might be using a tiny little sprinkle of that Seachem Safe, you can use this instead, and it's just easier to measure and also not overdose, because there has been some issues with Seachem Prime and Safe especially, that if you overdose too much you can actually strip the dissolved oxygen out of the water, which can in turn suffocate your fish, as they obviously won't be able to breathe in that environment. The next water conditioner that we're going to look at is this Fritz ACCR, and this is the powdered form of their water conditioner, and per teaspoon this guy treats 40 gallons. The one thing I do like about the Fritz products though is that it'll always say on the back what it does, what it could potentially do if you overdose, whereas Seachem Prime and Safe don't really do that, so you get a lot of hobbyists just throwing whatever amounts of the product they're using into the fish tank when it could harm the fish, the invertebrates, or anything else that they may have in there. So on the back of the ACCR you can see that they state that it will not affect the biological filter beds in your canister you hang on the back or your sponge filters, and it also won't affect the dissolved oxygen in your aquarium, unlike some of the others. The only downside to this product, in my opinion though, is the price point, and it seems to be a little bit more expensive than the Seachem Safe, which is why, in my personal opinion, if you've got bigger tanks like 125s or anything more than that, Seachem Safe is the way to go. It's going to save you a bunch of money. Just be careful that you don't overdose it, because that could be really, really problematic. However, having said that, the Fritz ACCR, in my view, is great for those medium to larger size tanks, like the 40 gallons, the 55s, and potentially the 75s, whereas the Fritz Complete water conditioner is perfect for those smaller tanks, the 10, 20 gallons, especially if you've got delicate, smaller fish in there, because they just cannot handle the lack of dissolved oxygen in the water that some of the bigger fish like the African cichlids and all those predator fish that people have got going on right now might be able to handle for a little bit longer. So in my opinion, the ACCR, the Fritz Complete and the Seachem Safe are all great tools for your arsenal, especially if you've got bigger, medium and smaller tanks, just as it eliminates the guesswork. And instead of putting a 1/8 of a quarter teaspoon of Safe into a 10 or 20 gallon per se, you're only using 1/3 or half a cap of the Fritz Complete, which in my opinion just helps to eliminate human error and can potentially save some fish. So all three great products in my opinion, and I'm going to continue to use all three on my vast array of different size tanks that I've currently got, including this little 5.5 gallon that's got a boatload of blue neon fry, as well as some smaller jello reef. This 20 gallon here that's been shared by the stud blue neon. And of course this Walter Eye, who's probably got the craziest fins you've ever seen on an African cichlid, and he's just begging to eat. And due to the size of these tanks is the exact reason why I use the liquid version of the Fritz water conditioner, as it's just easier to eyeball the correct amount that I need to put in the tank rather than dividing the Seachem Safe into 1/10 of a quarter teaspoon or something ridiculous like that. So just kind of stops human error occurring. I've never got to worry about overdosing, and hopefully these guys will be with me a lot longer due to the fact that I'm using that plethora of different products just to kind of make it safer. On the 55, however, I do use Seachem Safe. Great product, saves me a ton of money, and I'd highly recommend it if you've got some bigger tanks like the 75s or the 125s and bigger. The Fritz products though, I've been using them for about a month and a half now. All been great, no issues, and they're great products to have at your disposal for tanks such as this 10 gallon planter tank, my 5.5 fry tank, or my 20 gallon stud / holding tank. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think to this review in the comments down below. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. We are so close to 2,000. Love to get there by the new year. Thanks for watching.